Hey, everybody, welcome to Own Every Word, the game show, where the word hurt submits answers to fill in the blank statements, and our panel debates which is the best answer so that the person that submitted can earn incredible NFT prizes. I'm your host, Matt Harris, and I'm here with a group of terrific panelists who will each write down which word they think is the best fit, argue their point vehemently, and from the words they choose, they'll come to a consensus willingly or unwillingly. We're here every Wednesday, so please join us to see who in the word herd has submitted the answers that our panelists feel are the most worthy. And with that, let's meet our panel. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Own Every Word. Let's have you meet everybody. Our first guest is a very funny stand-up comedian who's been playing on major stages all across the country. It's our pleasure to have the very warm Wynter Spears. Wynter, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for blessing Own Every Word with your presence. Now, this is a show about words. Mm-hmm. So just to get you warmed up, what's your favorite word to use to compliment someone?
What's my favorite word to use? It's a simple word, but I feel like it packs a lot of punch. When I say someone is kind, that's a huge compliment.
Okay. I like it. I think kindness is lacking. It is a very precious resource. Kind. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. Our next panelist is a writer as well as the host of Knowing is Half the Podcast. But his most important credit is Toddler Punching Bag. Please welcome Robert Clarke-Chan, everybody.
Woo. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot. First off, I demand that you also call me a very writer. I would really appreciate that.
On it,
like you did for Wynter. That's what I. Yeah.
How you doing? Good to be here. Let me just butcher the rest of everything about you as we go along. But you know what? Because you are a toddler punching bag, you do have a toddler.
Can you hear him in the back right now?
Yes, I can. And Godspeed, little one.
If I were him and living in this world, I'd be screaming too.
Okay. Yeah. What is your toddler's favorite word right now?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Whenever we say it, he says that we're not allowed to say it. Only he can say it, which is good because we need to teach him to code switch early. He can't be saying this sort of thing in school. I don't recall if we're allowed to say these kind of words in the show, but yeah.
Within reason. Go for it.
It starts with an S, ends with a T, and yeah.
I got you. So smut.
He's learning.
Not allowed to say that smut. All right. Well, hey. I love it, especially when you get bombarded by that from a toddler every day. So welcome to the show, Robert Clarke-Chan. And our final panelist here today. She has performed with National Lampoon and Second City and can be heard doing voiceovers on TV, film, and Own Every Word. It's the very talented Jen Kane, everybody. Hello, Jen Kane.
Hi.
Good to have you here.
My father has said the F word before too, so
yeah.
I'm right.
That's the kind of kids we raise.
I can't blame him.
Oh yeah.
We're godless heathens in Los Angeles. That's right. What you have to do. Otherwise,
we are learned people whose children have a wide vocabulary. That's what I'm going with. That's my story.
Way to spin that, Matt. Way to spin it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Jen? You do a lot of voices. You do a lot of accents. You are originally from the South. Let me ask you this. All right. Digging into that part of your brain that can access the Southern accent. What's your favorite word that is used that comes from the South?
Well, bless his heart.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I felt the judgment in that too. That was like, ooh.
The F word is less hurtful than what
perfectly
you just said right
encapsulates
there.
Southernism, that sort of, passive aggressive.
Mm. Deep in my
Sorry.
soul. I know. Hey, no, Downton Abbey's got nothing on the American South. Let me just tell you that. We can cut you.
Never
Fantastic.
heard it used in a positive context.
No. Well, we have our wonderful panel. You are the illustrious, you are Legion, and let's get to the game. So, during each month on Own Every Word, the game show, we build our questions around a theme. This time, it's classy celebrations. So each fill in the blank is based around that theme. Panelists, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, and round one has begun. Let's see what our first prompt is for the day. Forget a champagne fountain. This party had a champagne blank. Let's see what the word heard submitted. Forget a champagne fountain. This party had a champagne bike. This party had a champagne gorging prince. This party had a champagne pint. This party had a champagne ocean. This party had a champagne milkshake. This party had a champagne wallpaper. This party had a champagne tap. This party had a champagne maze. This party had a champagne ice cube. And this party had a champagne alchemy. That is the submissions from the word heard. Judges, please write down which word jumped out at you. Which one of these came to you in a vision and made you think, yes, that is how I know we are at a fancy party. Go ahead and write that answer nice and big so that we can see it. And okay, let's see. I'm seeing eyes looking on me. And as the test-taking proctor that I am, that makes me think people are ready. So I'm going to start in the way that I see my panelists. Wynter, let's start with you. Which word did you pick and why? Ocean. I'm loving it. What about ocean jumped out at you?
The champagne fountain, that's for your millionaires. The champagne ocean, that's for your billionaires. Am I right?
Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that. Although maybe we can when I go to Robert Clarke-Chan. Robert, what did you pick and why?
Oh,
Maze. Am I seeing maze? Okay.
Yep.
Champagne maze. What's going on with that?
Here's the thing. When I go to a party, I don't want to be social. I want the free booze. And if you can take it to a small corner where there is nobody else, a maze has got plenty of those. Just take me to a maze. Oh no, there's a dead end and champagne. I will be there. You can find me in the maze somewhere.
I like it.
Drunk.
I like it. It's got an aesthetic and it's practical. Makes sense. Jen Kane, what jumped out at you? Gorging Prince.
Whoa.
Yes.
Explain it.
I don't know. Maybe I just want to meet Prince Harry, but I just like the idea of a champagne gorging prince.
Yeah, that could be an addendum to a Harry Potter title. A Harry Potter and the Gorging Prince. I think that might work. Well, we have three wonderful answers, three wonderful, very compelling arguments for each answer. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to think about what you heard from the other judges. Think about if it changed your answer, because I'm going to come back and ask you for your final answer. But first, let's go to Sam Proof and see what the word heard is saying in the comment section.
All right, let's take a look. Spin to Turtle starts us off with, I think a tap is clearly a classy way to enjoy some bubbly. Yeah. Put your head right under that. That's the way to do it. As Dogs says ocean, because that's one big party. There you go.
That'd be one big party.
Irish knows what he's talking about. Wallpaper in Willy Wonka's House of Lushes. It's right next to House of Pies, I think. So it's like a twofer. Yeah. And Soda Reap says champagne milkshake. It tastes just as bad coming back up. But Mogwai says, I want a champagne milkshake. Yum. So I'm starting fights here. We're going to get a fight in the chat. Let's see if we can get a fight in the panelist room as well. Or a consensus. Go for it.
Okay. So I changed my answer.
All right. Well, listen, illustrious panel. This is what it is. You've heard from each other. You've heard from the word herd. Now I want to see if you have stuck to your guns or if something got to you to help you change your answer. And let's start with you, Wynter. Did you stick to your guns? Did you hear something that changed? What are you going with?
I like the tap scenario, so I changed my answer to tap.
Tap. What could be better at a party than a
What's
tap?
better than champagne on tap? The only thing better than
Absolutely.
champagne on tap is like a chocolate fountain on tap, right?
Boom.
Like
Boom.
you're just like, like all the chocolates, like dark chocolate, like milk chocolate. White chocolate doesn't count because that's not really chocolate, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm with
It's like
you.
a
I'm with you.
fancy Menchie's.
That's
Just
what I'm
getting
getting.
the
Exactly.
idea.
Oh, Menchie's. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
See, I like this party already. So what about you, Robert Clarke-Chan?
I mean,
Whoa, look at
yeah.
that. You were also influenced by tap.
like I thought about it, and like ocean seems too much. It's too much. But a tap, that's the same thing, just in a more convenient dispenser. You know?
Yeah, I'm with you. There's a convenience aspect to it. So that's 2 for tap. What about you, Jin Kane? Whoa!
Damn.
Princess.
Seems like so
Damn.
endless.
Right?
And
See,
that's what
I
you
want
want
to
to
party
try.
with you guys. Yes, tap. Oh my goodness. So we have a winner. First round. Congratulations to Song. Song, your word tap was choosing. It was choosing for using. All right.
Choosing by the clan. Yeah. Mhm.
by the clan. So please check your email. You should be receiving a sweet official, unofficial NFT name of a very good Gregory Hines movie. And
Wow.
True that.
we are on to round 2. Man, look how it goes. So round 2, here is our prompt. The invitation said dress code was blank attire. Let's see what the word hurt submitted. The invitation said the dress code was fortune teller's attire. The invitation said the dress code was prince attire. The dress code was jungle attire. The dress code was schoolmaster attire. The dress code was unloose attire. The dress code was Easter attire. The dress code was nostalgic attire. The dress code was belly dance attire. The dress code was gammy attire. Or the dress code was constricting attire. Panelists, please take in these words, see which one of them got to you, write down your answer. I actually feel like I have been to each and every one of these parties at some point in my life, and I mean all of them. I was a theater kid. So I'm seeing eyes up. I'm seeing eyes on me. That makes me think that people are ready. This time, for the fun of it, let's just bring the order one person down. So, Robert Clarke-Chan, I'm going to start with you. What jumped out at you?
Wapow.
Unloose.
Unloose.
Now, what is
It
your
reminds
interpretation
me-
of that?
The days of I don't know, must have been the early 2000s, maybe even the late 90s. The cool thing to say, the slang was, "Oh man, that's tight." TIT, tight.
Right.
And like unloose is just tight, right?
Right, yeah. Oh, I
Just
got
tight.
you.
That's it.
Oh,
I mean, yeah. Just, just
I see.
yeah. Yeah.
And then just to check in with you, we're not supposed to say tight anymore. That's like 2000s, late 90s, because I still do that.
Yeah, no, I know. Me
Okay.
too. I was trying to play like I talk like kids, and I don't. I
was
don't.
like, that is so loose. All right. So with that in mind, let's shift down. Jin Kane, what jumped out at you?
Constricting.
Hmm.
Because I would like to go to a party where everyone's just wearing shapewear.
Okay.
Shapewear? I don't know why. Maybe because shapewear is awesome. And it sounds like a bad dream. And I'd kind of like it.
And everybody would be in the same boat. All of them. All of us at that party. All right.
I'll wear a whalebone corset. I'm into it. Let's do
Let's
this.
do it. Let's make it happen. All right. So, Wynter, on to you. What jumped out at you here?
I chose Prince attire because who doesn't want to go to a party where everybody's wearing really great heels, tight pants, and has perfectly coiffed eyebrows? Who doesn't want to be at that party?
Okay, now, so you are referring
Mm.
to the Rogers Nelson Prince version, not Charming.
That's the only Prince I'm literally.
That's the only Prince I know. I just wanted to see that we were all.
It's the only Prince that exists in my brain.
I will agree.
I'm the only one that has the Prince Harry thing.
When I think Harry, I think Harry. When I think Prince, I think Prince.
Well,
Counterpoint to that, a lot of assless chaps. I don't know that I would feel real good about that.
Also true.
Well, this is what you can think about, because right now you are going to formulate, with all these answers, you're going to formulate what your final answer is going to be. And we're going to go back to Sam Proof and check in on the word hurt, see what they're saying in the comment section.
All right, Soda Reap starts us up with unloose and constricting are essentially the same thing. But it's, and then, so that's like a double negative and they cancel each other out, right? That's a rule now. No? The Shiba Dog says, I thought pullover was actually decent, but no. Sorry. It's going to be okay, Shiba. It's going to be okay. Doge the Count says, on the Persex invitation, it does the dress code was Prince attire. Like the Prince attire. Shiba Dog comes back with Schoolmaster, kind of classy. Okay. And Irish knocks it out of classy with Schoolmaster seems kind of kinky. So we've learned a little too much about Irish today. Mm-hmm. Let's see if your kink is coming up with a consensus.
Oh. So, you've heard compelling arguments from each other. You've heard things from our comment section in the word right now. Let's see how it affected your final answer, or if it did. Robert Clarke-Chan, let's start with you. Where did you land?
I feel like Jen and I are on the same page, and so I want to lean in that direction. But honestly,
with the symbol formerly known as love it. I mean, you can't beat it, because, and you not only do you have that, you have different levels of Prince. All right, you have a lot of iterations that he
many
went through.
decades.
Late 70s Prince is my favorite. So,
Jen Kane.
Okay, I stuck with constricting because I'm really into the shapewear idea, but I could be persuaded to go in the Prince direction because Prince essentially wore shapewear.
Nothing but.
And I got this to Prince party, and it was awesome. So I could be talked into Prince.
Okay, so with that, Wynter Spears, where did you land for your final answer?
So I was pretty convinced about Prince, but then Jungle made sense to me also. Woo! Jungle, with people with the togas or the grass skirts or whatever it is that people wear in the jungle. I don't know, but that seemed like something that would be like a theme party, but it would be like vague enough that people could wear almost anything.
Okay. So more for the comfort of people coming over. So here's what we have. We need to come to a consensus, and we have 3 different answers. So I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and as a panel, you will come to a consensus. 60 seconds on the clock starts now.
Okay, so I think that I could be convinced to go back to Prince, but that means we have to make one other person go back to Prince.
I could go to Prince.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing.
Of Prince.
But I think the right answer might be Jungle.
But Jungle Love was produced by Prince.
Okay.
Constricting Jungle. It's all
It's all Prince, really.
Yeah.
Is that our consensus?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Whoa! Record time consensus on that. All things come back to Prince in life. They circle back to Prince. He is everywhere. He is everything. And our winner, congratulations to Chuckles. Chuckles Everybody wants to go to your Prince party. And so you will be receiving your unofficial NFT. Look out for it. And congratulations to our panel for coming to a consensus so quickly. And now we are on to round 3. We are moving and juking people. What is our round 3 prompt? The host requested no gifts, so I brought blank instead. Let's see what the word heard submitted. The host requested no gifts, so I brought protein instead. I brought pox instead. I brought bud instead. I brought dishwater instead. I brought barricades instead. I brought apple pie instead. I brought hikers instead. I brought moolah instead. I brought nautilus instead. I brought looks instead. Some of these are as funny as they are saucy. A lot of good stuff to jump out at you. So, panelists, take it in. Take what it's given you. Let it translate through to your fingers and to your writing instruments. And I see eyes looking at me. Let's check in with you. I'm going to keep moving the way I was moving. So, Jen Kane, let's start with you.
Well, I do like to bring a good charcuterie plate to a party. So I'm going to go with protein.
Ooh. Charcuterie boards. Very, very classy. Very delicious. I'm into it. Wynter Spears, what about you?
Am I the only one who feels like money is always a great gift? I'm always.
No.
I don't. No one's ever turned down money. Is all I'm saying. I'm like, no one's ever turned down money.
Absolutely. No argument there. That is.
You can always use it for stuff. You don't have to take it back.
Yeah, home run and amen. Robert Clarke-Chan, what about you?
Look, I have been doing the right thing for so long. I did not get any of the vid. I missed all sorts of parties that people were going to. I was being all socially distant and wearing masks. Now I want to get it and I want to spread it to people. I want to pay back for this 2 years that I've been good.
I think we just heard Robert Clarke-Chan's villain origin story happen right here on Own Every Word. So many years have I spent waiting.
When I get on the FBI's most wanted list, I'm definitely going to name check Own Every Word so that they know why.
I was never here. Do you understand that? Whoever's listening, I was never here. So
please don't call me as a witness. Please don't call me.
You have 3 arguments here. You have 3 choices. See which way you were swayed, and we're going to go check in with Sam Proof and the Word Heard. See what they have to say about all this.
All right. Irish starting us off with hikers are always a good time. I mean, more in the 70s, but yeah, that's fine. Reno says bud is always necessary. Moonraven, Pox is clearly a gift of love. Getting on board with Robert Clarke-Chan and myself. Pox is the gift that keeps on giving, guys. T. Richardson says moolah, aka blang blang, and Doge the Count says the hostile host requested no gifts, so I brought the barricades. I hope there's no barricades in the way of a consensus. Let's see what you come up with.
All right. So now you've heard from each other. You heard from the word heard. And now I want to heard from all of y'all. So Jen Kane, you may have been swayed.
What
is it? What you got?
I'm going with Pox.
Pox!
Because if we are going to parties right now, we are bringing the pox. We are going to get somebody sick at a party right now.
That's just the way it is. It don't even have to be the big one. It's just going to be one of them. Just
right.
because we're around each other.
Pox. It could be chicken pox.
So many.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is
hamster pox. It's a cute pox.
Okay, so Wynter Spears, what do you have to say about all this?
Well, I didn't change my answer, but Jen has a point. And so does Robert. I have gone nowhere and done nothing for the last 2 years. but I managed to go to 2 parties like a month ago on the same day and didn't catch anything and didn't give anybody anything. So I feel like that's a win. But that may have just been, you know what I mean? I may have just hit the right window. You know what I'm saying? I could be persuaded, I think, to change my answer to Pox. Okay, let's go with Pox.
Oh, so Pox coming from Jen Kane and Wynter Spears. That is 2 Pox. I'm not going to make the obvious joke there, but I am going to go to Robert Clarke-Chan and say it's just you against the world. So what do you have for your final answer?
Well, I don't know about 2 Pox. I think maybe the Notorious B.U.D.
Oh, what?
Here's the thing. I get dark sometimes. I get down. You know, I've got my issues. So I went and looked in the chat, and there were so many people that were just saying like, "Hey, man, just like make it a good time, be happy, bring fun to the party." And like as established last round, I'm not a good party goer. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll just go down to the dispensary and I'll just make people happy, right? So all I'm going to say is that I could be persuaded to turn back to evil again.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I'm putting 60 seconds on the clock right now. Persuade away, everybody, and go.
Okay, but just a second. When I saw bud, I thought beer. If we're talking about marijuana, then
That's what I thought. I 100% thought beer.
Who thinks beer?
Right?
Oh my God. What are you people drinking?
Oh my goodness. First of all, bud is always a funny answer though, because are people drinking it? Obviously, because it's still around and it's probably the worst beer ever. No offense. I will still do that commercial. Please, Budweiser, don't hate me. I will still 100% do that commercial. It's the best beer ever. Forget I said that. But Robert, you were already on Pox. Can't we all just get together on Pox?
You know what? I will go for whichever one you two decide on. I'm fine either way.
Jen? What do you think, Jen?
I feel like Pox is probably like appropriate, and I feel
like we've been living with the Pox for so long. I feel like
we could pregame with Bud and then bring
Matt, I believe we've gone to the dark side.
So
I believe
Pox?
we've all chosen.
Pox? Do I got a yes on Pox?
Horrible, evil.
Pox it is. A Pox on this party. And So to Reap. What an appropriate name. So to Reap is our winner. Winner of round 3. I know So to Reap was sitting there just biting us like, come on, you're so close, you're so close. And you crossed that finish line. So congratulations. Look for your official, unofficial NFT. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Prize coming your way. And now we move on to round 4. And just to let you know, round 4 is our twofer round, where only people with 2 cards can submit. So each answer will have 2 words in it. It'll all become clear. Let's check out our round 4 prompt. Our boss's retirement party was so blank, the blank department had to be called. Let's see what the word hurt submitted. Our boss's retirement party was so sweaty, the splashing department had to be called. The party was so pickled, the slosh department had to be called. The party was so rowdy, the shadowboxing department had to be called. The party was so fertile, the inhumane department had to be called. The party was so dead, the beef department had to be called. The party was so bloodthirsty, the geneticist department had to be called. The party was so depressed, the hard sin department had to be called. The party was so anarchic, the recharger department had to be called. Swallowed my own tongue there. The party was so debased, the morality department had to be called. And the party was so routine, the pumped department had to be called. Now, just as a reminder, these words only come in pairs. There is no mixing and matching. Whatever word is right next to the word, you are picking them as a pair. So There's a lot thrown at you here. Take a second, take it in, write down your answer. What kind of retirement party was this? What? Oh, and I'm seeing people nodding already. So I'm going to work my way back up the ladder. Robert Clarke-Chan, I'm going to go back to you and see, what did you pick here?
I'm trying to bring this back. I'm trying not to be a horrible human being. But also, like, if you're going to a party, it should be debased, and you should have the morality squad called on it.
All right, yes. A little bit of binge, a little bit of purge. I like it. I'm with it. Wynter Spears, I'm going to go over to you. What do you say about this party?
Okay, I picked pickled and sloshed because I don't know if there's a better word for being drunk than pickled. I always think that's such a great, you know what I mean? You're
love it.
You're pickled, and then and then you're also sloshed. It brings to mind sloppy. It brings to mind maybe puking. All of those things are things that happen when you're pickled. So pickled and sloshed. Those are my two favorite words. So I picked those.
I like it. The party's getting tilted. All right, Jen Kane, what about you?
I'm going with bloodthirsty because that sort of sounds like a vampire party.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of like the sound of that. And then the geneticist. I mean, I've just always wanted to have one of those tests done, and I was kind of hoping I could save my $150.
What a convenient party for the geneticist. Like, listen, I know we're all getting, our blood taken, but if I could just get a little sample
while you have your blood out,
I can tell you how much of your family is from somewhere else. I really do like
Ashkenazi Jewish.
Oh, that would be like, I'm a vampire, but I'm also part African. Like, it's just
also Polish.
It would be, oh man. Oh, I just wrote a whole new movie in my head. But with that, you have 3 answers here. You have 3 arguments. See if any one of them jumped out at you, and let's go over to Sam Proof to see what the word hurt says in the comments section.
All right. Doge account starting us off with those words are, and then this is we just need that Eric Warnheim, like he's like looking around and space is happening behind him. All emotes today. T. Richardson, pickle. It's just pickle, and whatever that square was supposed to be. Sorry, our software doesn't recognize it.
It's on mine. It's a cup turned sideways, spilling out liquid. So I get the sloshed.
Oh, it's the sloshed. Dang. I wish I had seen that in all its glory. Moonraven says, I need to find work at the pump department. I might too after reading these chats. I might need a new job. Shiba Dog says, debased. It works. Yes. Ooh. Let's see if you can all work on a consensus. And back to you.
All right, we are back to our illustrious judging panel. You have heard from each other. You've heard from the word heard. Now let's see where you landed on that final answer. Ooh, Robert Clarke-Chan, looks like you are writing. You are still being influenced.
I am. I listen to the people. I'm a democratic soul.
And appreciated in today's climate. So what did you come up with for the people?
For the people, partly because I like debased, but also I still don't understand what based means, and it frustrates me so much when I see people use it, and I try and figure out. So just the whole based thing, it just scares me. It gives me a little bit of agita. So I'm gonna go with pickled because
hey now,
man, pickled is a really Winter's right. That's a really good word for being drunk.
Pickle. Just use it from now on and be like, he was pickled. he was used and in a jar, saturated in alcohol. Wynter, how about you? So did you change or did you stick to your guns through
pickled and sloshed? I feel like nothing is better than I feel like there are things that are good, but I don't feel like anything is better than pickled and sloshed. I stand behind it 100%.
Absolutely. Sounds like a good English pub. Yeah.
Right?
going down to the pickled and sloshed. Yes. Love it. All right. Jen Kane.
I'm going to go with pickled and sloshed.
Wow.
Because fermentation is good for your gut.
Okay. Look at that. Probiotic advice, everybody.
So win-win.
I'm a health expert. You can take my advice.
That is right. The opinions of Jen Kane are hers and hers alone.
Find me on YouTube.
And congratulations to our winner, Turtle. I don't know why I love that it is coming from someone with the call sign Turtle. Turtle, congratulations. Pickled and sloshed is the only way to go at anyone's retirement party. So we give a big congrats to you and look for your NFT, official, unofficial NFT prize coming your way. And panelists, word heard. We are on to our final round. Can you believe it? This one is for the gold and special edition cards only, so your chances of winning are greatly increased. Here we go. Final round of the day. What do you get the birthday boy who has everything? Blank. Oh, word heard. What are you going to do to us now? Let's see what the word heard has submitted. What do you get the birthday boy who has everything? Plates. The birthday boy who has everything? Yourself. What do you get the birthday boy who has everything? Dumbbells. Or beasts. Or pregame buzz. What do you get the birthday boy who has everything? Support. What do you get him? Yams. Or beer goggles. Or oyster fork. Or what do you get the birthday boy who has everything? Scar. Man. I'm going to tell you right now, don't let me get rich because I am not inviting any of you to my party, word heard submitters. Okay. And so with that, we're shooting here for first impressions of the final round. I'm going to begin the way that I end. Wynter Spears, let's start with you. What jumped out at you? Oyster fork.
It's one of those things that people probably don't have at their houses. Like nobody's walking around with an oyster fork. You know what I mean? Like you have regular forks, you have spoons, you have that kind of stuff. I feel like oyster fork is like rich people stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like rich people have yachts. Rich people have people to do things for them. They have assistants. They have shoehorns so they can get their shoes on. They also have oyster forks.
I'm with it. That's sound logic. So, Robert Clarke-Chan, what say you to that?
I'm trying to love myself. I'm trying to be I've got self-esteem issues, so I just want to put myself out there and say that the best thing you could possibly have is me. I am charming. I am entertaining. I have a child who could do labor for you. He could build iPhones. You manufacture iPhones. I could do that for you. I could provide that service. I'm just saying that I'm the total package.
All right, everybody. You heard that. Robert Clarke-Chan is available for parties, apparently. And Jen Kane, what about you?
I had to go with beasts because if beasts is an option, like, why wouldn't you go with beasts? Like, that's amazing. Like, some big hairy beast. I can take that with me to a party. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking Disney Beast.
Those
All
kinds
of beasts.
All of them make sense. All of them make sense in their own way. So with that, absorb, process what you have heard. We're going to go one final time to Sam Proof in the word heard.
All right, let's see. T. Richardson starting us off with do a bonus round. This is fun. Yeah, I mean, we'll hang out some other time probably. Yeah, no, we'll see if we can't figure something out like that for future shows. Moonraven says yams has got to be yams. I am on board for that. Delicious. Sheba Dog, yourself. What could be better? There you go. Except no, not at all. T. Richardson said that's selfish being yourself. Again, starting fights. Always. That's my job here. Soda Reeps has support because he probably has a lot of drug problems. Yeesh. And Asdog siding up with Jen Beast because I guarantee he hasn't had one of them before. There you go. Something we have had is a few consensuses. Let's see if we can get our last one.
So here we are. We are down to it. The final round, golden special edition cards. You've heard from each other. You've heard from the word herd. Wynter Spears, did you change your answer or did you stick to your guns?
Here's the thing. Beasts, although a great answer, how are you going to control that? You give somebody a beast, all of a sudden they're dead. And whose birthday is great after that? No one's. And you know, yourself is subjective. Like yourself might be great depending upon who yourself might be. I have to stick with oyster fork.
How dare you?
Like, I'm just saying, I have to stick with oyster fork. It's a rich people thing.
Sticking to the guns, and we move on to you, Robert Clarke-Chan. Where are you with yourself?
I realize that what I'm doing here, going to this rich person's party, this person has everything, right? I'm being a class traitor. So what I need to do is give him a scar to remind him of the proletariat and that we're coming for him. There will be guillotines. I am not having this. I'm going to come to your party. I'm going to burn it to the ground.
Viva la revolucion. And okay,
with that, the people sing.
Woo. Jen Kane.
I gotta stick with beasts.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm just picturing like these big, giant, hairy creatures, and
where the wild things are.
I can't say no to that. I mean, and I feel like a rich person could really exploit that, and they would be happy about it.
In the theme of rich people things. So here's what we have, our final consensus. Now you have all been operating as one mind, as Legion this whole time. This is the hill that we have all built. So I'm putting 60 seconds on the clock. 60 seconds only. You're going to fight for your cause. You're going to convince the other people, and you're all going to walk off hand in hand virtually, just to consent. Here we go. 60 seconds and go.
Okay, seriously, beasts are like private planes. Beasts are how rich people die. So I think, like private, I don't know any poor person who's ever died in a private plane. Rich people, tons of them. So I'm just saying, I think it should be an oyster fork.
Counterpoint: beasts kill rich people. I like it. Oyster forks, you could stab a rich person in the eye with it. That's the only thing. If you can afford an oyster fork, you can afford to have it in your eye. So I feel like the beast is the more likely to kill the rich person. So I'm leaning towards beast. But if you can convince me of the lethality of your oyster fork, I will go your direction.
It's gonna be easier to get the oyster fork into the party to stab the rich person in the eye. If you're going after the proletariat, they're probably not going
I'm not trying to kill anyone.
There's going to be a whole security situation if you bring a beast.
Just for the record, I wasn't planning on killing anyone with my beasts.
All right, so panel. Here's where we are, panel.
You have an uncontrollable beast. You never know.
Here's where we are, panel. We are at our 60 seconds. Where are we? This is the unwilling part. Now you are forced to come to a decision, and you got 5 seconds. Go. What is it? What are we saying? And
oyster fork.
I'll go with oyster fork because it does start a new fad.
I want that fork in the eye. I want to see it squirt. Yes.
For different reasons, but all valid, we come to a consensus. Oyster fork is our winner, and congratulations to Stark Tony. Woo! That was a barn burner. I know Stark Tony was really quaking in the man iron boots that you have. Congratulations! Look for your unofficial NFT coming to you, and ladies and gentlemen, people. That is our game. That is the show. Thank you so much for watching Own Every Word, the game show. But before we go, Jen Kane, where can the people find you?
Well, maybe since my toddler is vaccinated, they could come see me do improv.
Yes, tomorrow. Get it tomorrow.
But when she's vaccinated in a couple of months.
Absolutely. Robert Clarke-Chan, where can the people find you?
I got a podcast. It's called Knowing is Half the Podcast. It's a lot of fun. We watch old cartoons and talk about them. I got a podcast. It's called My Three Dads. It's a podcast where we watch some cartoons and talk about dad stuff. It's pretty neat. And AE Doubleback is a podcast about wrestling if you're into that sort of thing.
Love it. And Wynter Spears, where can the people find you?
People can find me on all of the socials at Wynter Spears. WynterSpears.com is my website, and I'm at Wynter Spears on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm all over LA doing shows. I say that, but I've been a little reticent since COVID. I do have a show coming up at Flappers on Friday night, but it is sold out. So hope I don't catch COVID, guys. I'm still dodging it. Still dodging it.
Thank you all for being here. You made the show really fun. Congratulations to all our winners. Thank you all out there for watching. I've been Matt Harris. Join us again next Wednesday and every Wednesday at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Good night, everybody.